The Ganyu Banner is available today in Genshin Impact. What sort of value are you looking for from this banner? And is this character, this 5-star cryo DPS burst supports, is she worth pulling forward to have in your team? Obviously, if you like the character, you're going to pull for the character, but we're going to go over all of the special stuff that she can bring to your teams and how her playstyle is going to sort of emanate throughout your time in Genshin Impact. So Ganyu, first of all, very powerful character with a very unique and interesting slash boring playstyle depending on what kind of player that you are. So she's going to be a burst damage slash consistent damage depending on how you gear her in your team. She is all about her charged attack. If you haven't been around, she has a level 2 charge attack, which is called the Frost Flake Arrow, which will then bloom and do damage. And this has a very high multiplier. If you level this up to level 10, you are looking at a 500, a little over than that percent total multiplier, with most of that being AoE damage. So she's going to pair very well with animal type characters who can group enemies up. Someone like Sucrose or Venti, or maybe even Jean. You pick some enemies up and you throw them together and you use her with Jean. She's going to be very good with that playstyle there. She also does have a taunt for herself here with Trail of the Keelan. So that's going to be an amazing way for you to gather enemies up with Ganyu as well. Although this has a 10-second cooldown, it does have a 6-second duration, but this can be destroyed by your enemies. And her elemental burst, Celestial Shower, does have a very unique property. This is what's going to make her available for you to use as a support type character if you don't want to use her as a damage dealer, because it is a 15-second duration, 15-second cooldown elemental burst. Very good AoE range on the cryo damage that it's going to be doing over that duration. And it only has 60 energy cost. That is not the cheapest energy cost in the world, but it is not the most expensive. And you have 15 seconds to get that energy back on your Ganyu so you can use Celestial Shower again. Very strong character here. She's going to be built around the cryo element, and she's going to be built around charge attacks and her elemental burst, which is going to be very, very strong with the cryo set, because she's going to be gaining a bunch of free critical hit rate from her Ascension level 1 as well. When you fire your Frost Flake Arrow, her level 2 charge, the crit rate of all of next Frost Flake Arrows will be increased by 20% for 5 seconds, as well as the bloom as well. So that's 20% free crit hit rate there. If you're using a double cryo team, then that's going to give you 15% critical hit rate versus enemies that are either frozen or afflicted by cryo. And then you put her in the new cryo set, it's going to be an additional 20 to 40% critical hit rate, which brings you up to 60 to 80% critical hit rate. 60 versus enemies that have the cryo element on them, or 80% critical hit rate against frozen targets. That is without any gear whatsoever. In addition to that, she does have a wide selection of very powerful bows that are either easy access. There's so many bows that you can have access to. If you got lucky with a 5-star bow, that's going to be good. If you want to use the prototype bow, that's going to be good. These are all very strong, even though the Black Cliff bow that you can buy with the Star Glitter in the Star Glitter Exchange Shop is also fantastic. Here's some preliminary numbers for you guys here. Amos bow could be exceptionally powerful. This is the one that needs to be tested out the most, because Amos bow does increase your normal and charge attack damage, but we don't know if the bloom effect from her charge attack will actually be counted as a charge attack itself. If it does, and this is going to be a fantastic option for you guys if you have access to the Amos bow. You really cannot go wrong with any of the options there. The weakest one in essence here so far is the Viridescent bow, the Battle Pass bow there, but the Black Cliff bow, the prototype bow, very powerful damage for you there. The Black Cliff will get stronger as you're doing this AoE damage with your Ganyu. It's going to start giving you attack stacks that last a long duration while you're defeating enemies, which is going to further increase your AoE capabilities. It comes with critical hit damage, has a nice base attack for a 4-star bow. The prototype bow is exceptionally powerful, wants you to charge attack here, gives you a movement speed buff as well, which helps you out when you're using Ganyu, because you're charge attacking a lot and you're kind of a little bit, not as mobile, but now you'll be a little bit faster while you're charge attacking. You can just naturally move a little bit faster while you're charge attacking too. And on top of that, when you do hit an enemy's weak spot, you're going to be getting at level 1, I do believe it's a 36% attack buff at Refinement Rank 1. At Refinement Rank 5, eventually one day, you'll get up to 72% attack buff. So you're going to have an exceptionally high amount of critical hit damage when built right, attack percent when built right, and elemental damage slash charge attack damage bonus up with this build as well due to her second ascension in all of these. If you're standing inside your own elemental burst, increased cryo damage of 20% as well. Prototype bow is a fantastic bow for her. Skyward bow, Amos bow, Blackcliff bow, whatever bow that you have access to, whatever one you've been working on, you cannot go wrong with them. But the prototype bow is a fantastic weapon, especially if you have an aimed shot that hits the weak point of a target. The vast majority of enemies in Genshin Impact have that weak point for you guys to hit. And if you're looking for a full-on guide for Ganyu, I'll have that video out today for you guys as well. I'll be crunching the numbers behind the scenes the entire time. The data for her is still the same, so all of that stuff, all that hard work is not forgotten. Now, we also have 3 4-star characters on the banner here, right? We have Xingqiu, we have Xiangling, we have Noelle here as well. So these are going to be a little bit, I've seen some pluses and some minuses. Some people don't like these 4-stars. Some people are all about these 4-stars. First of all, the best one on the banner for the vast majority of you guys out there is going to be Xingqiu. Xingqiu is an insanely strong character. We'll have a guide out for him as well. Probably all 3 of these characters this week as well. He's an exceptionally flexible, exceptionally powerful character, support character, burst damage character, whatever it is under the sun that you want to use him for. He is fantastic. Using him with Ganyu is a little bit weird because most of the time a lot of his support power comes from his elemental burst, but his elemental burst activates whenever your character is using their normal attacks. Where Ganyu wants to use her charge attacks, you can use him with her, and it can be pretty powerful because you'll just normal attack into a charge shot. That way you can proc his elemental burst, but it's going to be there specifically just to proc freeze. You're not really going to be doing that much damage with his elemental burst in that sort of setup, so you want to set him up as a damage reduction, healing type character. You guys don't know what he does. He does do a lot of different things. He does do damage. He has support capabilities for elemental reactions through his elemental burst. You can hit really hard with his own elemental skill with a couple of constellations if you're pulling for those on this banner as well. He's just an all-around amazing guy. I look forward to that review for that character as well. We have Noelle out here, right? We all start with Noelle. She kind of falls off mid-game, but if you put the love into her, she could become the one-man army monstrosity for you guys out there. I know a lot of players out there are actually pulling to get a last couple of constellations, and if so, you're pulling on the Ganyu banner. This is more of an incentivization. If you are using Noelle, maybe you're missing a couple of constellations, you got her off banner a couple of times to get back in there and maybe get her C5, maybe get her C6, and really give her that love that she needs. Level up her elemental burst skill, level up her normal attack skill, and start just becoming that one-man army in Abyss, especially with the new Abyss, the way that it's set up. A lot of the times we've been getting the special different bonuses for the Abyss that have something to do with geo shields or geo crystallizations or geo reactions. But now we have the Abyss floors 9, 10, 11, and 12 straight up changed, and the highest one, level 12, just boosts your geo damage by 75%. And these geo characters, when properly built and supported and given that little bit of love, will absolutely demolish that floor for you. That floor is built strictly around geo damage and claymore damage. There's a lot of the hilly churros out there that have the big stone shields. You need a claymore character or a geo character to break through them. Noelle's going to be doing that just fine for you there. And then last but not least, we have Xiangling here coming in. She still has the ability to do a lot of stuff for you, right? She has the ability to provide access to damage bonus buffs, a little bit of attack bonus buff. She has the ability to be a pyro support character. She has the ability to be a full-time physical damage carry as well. A lot of you guys out there with the Crescent Pike, she's absolutely abusing that weapon with all of her fast attacking, multi-hitting spear normal attack combination chains. Put her in a superconduct team. Watch her do a lot of work that way as well. So if you're a new player and you pull on this banner, you have a lot of very capable characters here. You have 2 characters that can support heal your team, especially if you get Noelle Constellation 1. That way, while your elemental burst is active, she's going to 100% have a proc on her heal with her shield up. Then you have damage reduction as well as healing from Xingqiu there, which is fantastic. You have the capabilities of a full-time physical damage carry in Xiangling or a support type character in the pyro element. And then you have the Ganyu, who can be your physical, or not your physical damage carry, but your full-time carry, or she can be a melt enabler with her full-time uptime on her elemental burst. So very, very positive banner here in a lot of ways for you guys. You already have all those 4-star characters. The really question is, do you want some of those constellations while you're pulling for Ganyu? So let me know if you're getting the goat. We're going to be pulling for her later on this week at some time. Probably not today. We have a lot of stuff to work on the channel here. If you want to see more of that stuff, guys, make sure you thumbs this video up, give it that love. I want to see your smiling faces down in the comment section below. And for future content, all those guides, hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you guys then. Later, guys.